Unlike traditional lamps, LED illumination systems are smart and can be controlled by software. In this tutorial video, we'll talk you through the LightBridge graphical user interface, which is used to control the QLED P800 8-channel LED illumination system. Once installed, and when the power switch of the light source is turned on and the system is connected to the PC with a USB cable, the LightBridge will be shown as online, and you can now control a range of parameters. The installed LEDs listed at the top of the display also reflect whether your system has the 365 or 400nm LED installed. These are the two available variants of the P800. There are three modes which are accessed from the home screen. Standard TTL covers the majority of applications. Sequence mode allows Sequence Runner for high-speed imaging controlled via the global TTL. And then there is a demo mode which allows some of the features and a level of automation to be demonstrated without the need for additional hardware or software. In standard mode, you can select the required LED combination by clicking the box under each channel. The irradiance of each of the 8 channels can be adjusted in 3 different ways: by clicking and moving the slider with your mouse, using the arrows, or typing the irradiance percentage in the text box. Clicking the on/off status button so it shows on will cause all wavelengths in the selected state to illuminate at their defined irradiance. You might also have noticed the analog mode box. Checking this inactivates on/off and channel irradiance control in the LightBridge and allows the light source to be controlled by external hardware instead. The LED irradiance levels will now be controllable by applying a signal between 0 and 10 volts to the required channel. The on/off state will be controllable with a TTL signal. The P800 illumination system is unique in featuring an 8-channel sequence runner for affordable high-speed imaging. Illumination sequences can be triggered with just a single TTL out from a camera or other external hardware. Once you have your TTL input connected to the BNC of the light source, navigate to Sequenced mode in the drop-down menu to set up and control Sequence Runner. You can define the sequence order of the LEDs required, set the irradiance as previously shown, then click Ready. Sequences running will be displayed to show that the sequence is active, and this begins when the first TTL is received and cycles through the selected LEDs with each additional TTL. You can then stop and press clear to reprogram the sequence. The final option in the drop-down menu is demo mode. This is a great tool for demonstrating the light source, whether to potential customers or during microscope training sessions. Select the LEDs you wish to demonstrate in the order you want them to illuminate and set the irradiance for these channels as previously described. You can then select ramp or pulse and define the interval by typing in the text box or using the arrows. When you are ready, you can click the on/off status button and the unit will cycle through the wavelength selected. Like the sequence runner, after stopping the sequence on the status button, the display sequence can be reset by pressing clear. It's also worth being aware of several additional settings in the LightBridge. For example, a preset feature allows you to save and load common or your most recent settings. You can save your settings under File, Save As, and load settings by clicking File, Load Mode from File. The Power Up configurator, which can be found under Tools, allows you to define the default LED settings to be used when the light source is switched on. Here you can select LEDs and set their irradiance. On the drop-down menu, there is Disabled, which means that on startup, no LEDs are selected and irradiance is 0. If you use the power-up configurator to change the LED selection and irradiance settings, for these settings to be selected upon power-up, but when you don't want the LEDs to be switched on, select Irradiance Level Set, LEDs Off. If you select Irradiance Level Set, LEDs On, the LEDs with their program settings will instead come on automatically at power-up. For users who mostly use analog, the LightBridge can also initialize in analog mode. Then press Save and Exit to save your settings and return to the home screen. Other tools include a firmware update check, copy diagnostics, which is useful when speaking with our support team, and an option to keep the window on top for access when you are using multiple applications. You can also change the size of the window here. You can find more information on your version of the LightBridge under File, About, and finally, when you exit the LightBridge, it is possible to exit and shut LEDs down, or with LED settings still in operation. Thank you for watching this cool tutorial video.